the intelligent control.
All right. Hey, Ramblers and Gamblers are already ahead of me here. They're already in the bullpen. How you doing, folks? Ron Raymond here for a Faux-Friday. That's right, a Faux-Friday, March 18th. Hopefully everybody's not too hungover from that St. Paddy's Day festivities. Yesterday was a good day for St. Paddy's Days. Hopefully everybody had fun. Hopefully everybody had a safe night. And hey, it's top of the morning to everybody here at the Raymond Report. And my name is Ron Raymond. I'm a four-time sports handicapping champion based out of Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. That's right, crazy Canucker right here in Ottawa. And I'd like to take a second here to wish everybody a good morning, good afternoon, or a good night, wherever you are in the world. Lonnie Smith's in the house. How you doing, Lonnie? Lonnie, hey, Lonnie came through the front door this morning there. Lonnie's ahead of me. Oh, hopefully you guys had a good night. And let me see here. Lonnie says, hopefully I had a great night. You know what? It was a good night. Watched some good basketball. Watched some hockey. And, the Winnipeg Jets, that nice system we gave out was my top play yesterday at the Rain Report. And we needed overtime. Again, a lot of these games are making us sweat till the end, but it was a nice win there. And let me see here. Isaiah's in the house. How you doing, Isaiah? Had a nice winning night. Sens almost got me a good upset. Jets came through nicely. Yeah, no, Winnipeg was good. Lee Lewis is here. How you doing, Lee? He had the Jets too. So, and there's Rui from, hey, I said the pronunciation right. The Rui, hey, from Portugal. How you doing, Rui? Hopefully you're having a good morning or a good afternoon in Lisbon today. Rui Pedro is from Lisbon, Portugal. So not only is this show local, it's international. And hey, that's awesome. And Plant-Based Junkie. How you doing, Plant-Based? There's our Bills Mafia guy. And yeah, so it looks like everybody's having themselves a good night. And let me see if this chat here is working. Ramblers and Gamblers. There we go. I think, see, the one thing when you do... There we go. Yeah, I always got to double check to make sure the sound is up. And maybe go look at the front page to make sure that we don't have... sometimes when you do these shows, you see there's two videos, right? And people go into the other tab, but I think that worked it out there. Still growing pains doing with the new Streamlabs format, so looks like we got things under control. All right, today's show, what we're going to do here, the podcast schedule, we're going to take a look to see what's on tap here today. We're going to take a look at bankroll management like we always do. ParlayCalculator.com. With March Madness coming, let's take a look how we can calculate those big winnings at ParlayCalculator.com. We're going to give away another free horse racing tip today in race number 1 at the Gulfstream Park in Florida. And also, we're going to take a look at the SBI, the Bears and Bulls report. Streakcatcher, we have a new streaker. In fact, we have 2 of them with 5 wins. BullpenPicks.com. Folks, if you're into baseball, you got to check out bullpenpicks.com. It's the same as hockey picks, but you make your selections with baseball. And preseason is going now, so we got our preseason games up, and you can do your preseason picks today at bullpenpicks.com. NBA handicapping, we're going to review the tip sheets. NHL 80% club. Hey, I wanted to find that Gronk thing on the NFL Network when he said he's stock blocking from the 10-yard line and he threw a guy right out of the end zone and he called that throw him out of the club. So we're going to go right to the 80% club. We're going to see if we can throw some teams out of the club today at the 80% club. And then last call. That's right. We're going to have, last call was probably appropriate yesterday on St. Paddy's Day, but we will have a last call today when we wrap up the show. All right, let me check out, see who's here in the audience. And let me see, hey, Ron, possible, can you do the Rain Report on Wichita State versus Drake? All right, so the thing is, we don't have any college basketball Rain Report stuff, but what I can do is I can bring up ATS Calculator, the line moves, and we can break down those games for you guys. Well, yeah, you know what? I'll do it. Just remind me. Remind me near the end of the show, just say, hey, Ron, don't forget, check out the line moves on the college basketball and do the ATS Calculator on the college basketball March Madness today. All right, so the real deal's in the house. He said he had Vancouver and Winnipeg. And hey, right on. And this is what the show's all about, right? And if you are new to the Rain Report and this is your first time coming to the our YouTube channel, I do this every Monday to Friday. I'm going in my 24th season. And the top of the show, when I say I'm a 4-time sports handicapping champion, I've won 4 back in the early 2000s. I think the last one I won was 2010, a football competition. We used to have all these contests online, and I've won a lot of football contests. And so that's where I claimed the title of 4-time champion. And it's nothing to just say, hey, look at me. No, it's hey, proven and true. I've done my test. I've done my battle test. And you know what? Football season has been pretty good. The last couple of years been really well. And I'm looking forward to this football season. In 2009, I wrote a book called Ron Raymond's Top 50 Sports Betting Secrets. You can get that on Amazon. Or if you want a free copy, just send me an email. And you guys get a free copy of my book. And I've created over 20-some websites in the industry going back to 1996. And that's one thing I love doing. I love creating websites that help gamblers, ramblers and gamblers, tools, right? I always say, if you in today's world in the internet, everybody can blog, everybody can have an opinion. But I think one of the big things, if you are a young handicapper or somebody who's in your industry, whatever it is, I think tools. When you create tools that people use, I think that's where you can have the leg up on your competition. And I think having tools today in the internet is, especially with the way the internet's going now, right? Man, I always say, if you look at every 7 years, things evolve, right? Evolution, you can't cap evolution. Evolution is going to happen, but you almost got to reinvent yourself in business every 7 years if you want to stay competitive. And there goes Ron Raymond on another Ron Raymond rant early in the morning. All right, let's take a look who's in the house. We got Steph in the house. He had Tampa Bay Rays, Canucks, and Jets. And that's a nice one there, Steph. Doors.com is in the house. How you doing, Doors.com? And let me see. Isaiah's here, real deal. John X, there's John X. Hey, John X is friend of the class there. He brought his apple today. He's going to, hey, don't forget to leave your apple on the desk there, John X, because he tells his wife he's going to Raymond Report University every day. And he's going to, that's pretty cool though. And let me see. Plays and Parlay. What's up, Plays and Parlay? You know what? Hey, Plays and Parlay, we're going to have to sit down and talk about the Boston Celtics, because I went 2-1 in the NBA last night, and I think it's just me being it's like the young kid. Don't, the stove is hot. Don't put your fingers on the stove. But what do? You keep putting your fingers on the stove. And the Boston Celtics, they're the stove right now. We just, for some reason, we just keep putting our fingers on the enter button when we bet on the Boston Celtics. Man, I'll never learn with those guys, right? But hey, the thing is, there's still a B-type team. And in the Raymond Report, we always talk about it's tough to trust a C-type team. Also, Lee Lewis, Plays and Parlay, they're a mess, he says. Yeah, they are a mess. They're an absolute mess. But looking forward to today's show, guys. And we got a lot on tap. And again, hopefully you guys had yourself a good St. Paddy's Day yesterday. And right now, I'm going to show you guys ParlayCalculator.com. This is one of my other sites that I have in the network. And again, this is a pretty good site. So if you ever want to go and calculate your parlays, you go to ParlayCalculator.com, and I know some of the veteran handicappers and gamblers were, I'm not teaching an old dog a new trick type thing, but for the new novice gambler in the audience who are watching on the replay, and that's one thing too, I always want to talk about that. Anytime you're watching the Raymond Report and you're not live, we always, YouTube, the good thing with YouTube is that once the show is done, it gets archived, and you can watch it each and every day right here on the Raymond Report ATS channel. So let's say you got 110, and then you got an underdog of 160, and then you got a heavy chalk with a glass of milk at 220, and then you got a 140 underdog. And then what you do is say you put $20 on it, and you go down here, and you say, okay, how much are these 4 picks going to pay? And you do calculate, and it says, okay, those 4 at $20 pays $326. And then you can set all the other windows right here. Put in your in the field box. Put in your total of the bet you're looking at, and then you put the money amount, the amount of money you want to wager on. Don't worry, my brain will catch up with my tongue eventually. These morning shows, right? I got to get these 2 cups of Javis in me before everything is in sync. But hey, March Madness is upon us. Mark Nation, how you doing, buddy? And Mark Nation is a loyal listener and a member here at ATS. And Mark, just talk to the programmer and go check out those jockey standings and the tip sheet we fixed it yesterday, so it should be good and ready to go at the horse racing tip sheet. All right, so that's the beautiful thing about the bullpen, right? You're doing the show, you can peek at the bullpen, and guys are coming in, and you can just answer questions on the fly, right? It's like being on the second line of the Montreal Canadiens, right? You get the tap, and you jump over the boards, and you say, okay, there's my shift. There's my line mate, Mark Nation, my line mate, left winger, right there. But yeah, so it's all good. And this is ParlayCalculator.com. So guys, again, if you ever want to go to Parlay Calculator and calculate your parlays, just check it out at ParlayCalculator.com. All right, money management. I talked about this on Monday, and I'm going to bring this up every day. I think some of the strongest fundamentals of sports betting is, I had a really good comment the other day. It was on the YouTube channel. You guys might have seen it. I think it was a guy from New York. And he says he watches the show, and he said he appreciates, and he goes, he changed the way he looks at sports betting. And that's my intention, is you get a lot of people who come on to these shows, or they're new to sports betting, and they come in as a fan and not as an investor. And that's one thing I try to preach every day here, is that, if you think like a fan, you just might as well just mail the check every day to your bookmaker, right? But if you start thinking like an investor, and, I always believe less is more, right? It's less is more in life. If you take that philosophy, I think you can go really far in life. And the same thing in sports betting, right? Sometimes, and that's why we do the SBI every day. We look at the markets, because not every day I say it's not a Picasso. Not every day is going to be a perfect picture that you can bet on sports and have a lot of opportunities, right? And the perfect example last night, and I'll get to the SBI in a second, it was a dog day afternoon, right? Remember dog day afternoon, we started out on Monday? Well, it was a dog day evening last night in the NBA, and we'll get to that. But guys, I can't stress enough, have some really good money management. And hey, I'm not sitting here saying I'm Warren Buffett, and I'm going to tell you guys, exactly how to spend your money. You can ask my wife that. She'll tell you I'm not no Warren Buffett, I'll tell you that. But but when it comes to sports betting, you got to trust your sports gut sometimes, right? And the thing is, you got to pick your spots. And if you follow this show, and if you bet some of my plays on the Rain Report, you bet my 5-star unit plays, like if you go to ATSstats.com, go to picks, go to Ron Raymond, and you can see all my last 25 selections. And the thing is, I can get hot and cold really. To be honest, I'm about a 57% handicapper, which is pretty good. I get some good streaks, some hot streaks. Right now, I'm 15-10 in my last 25. But if you look at my selections last night, San Antonio. Remember San Antonio? I said, guys, let's keep an eye out on that percentage play, 19 and 18%. And that 1% made a big difference. Now, they started slow, but ABC, always be closing, right? Coffee's for closers. And, one thing we know about Pops, right? He's a closer. And San Antonio, Patty Mitchell, Patty Mitchell, was it let me see there. I always want to say Patty Mitchell. I don't know why I won't. Patty Mills, that's it. Patty Mills. The 3-point, he's a 3-point shooter, man. I tell you, last night, he was on top, and he was making those threes. And, he turned that game around last night. And so Patty Mills, I think, got us the win yesterday. If you had San Antonio, that was a nice win. Again, the Celtics, plays and parlays, we'll have to talk about this. But that was a 2-unit play. And the thing I made it a 2-unit play is because, I liked Boston last night. I didn't love Boston last night. I love San Antonio. I didn't like them, right? And Denver, I had Denver, minus 300. So if you ever wonder how I do my my money management, and if you're ever watching, if you're a member of ATS, follow the units that I wager on. And that will give you an indication on how strong I feel about the play. Winnipeg was a 5-unit play. And I like St. Louis yesterday. I really like St. Louis, but the Kings, the Kings had other things in store for us yesterday. So that's a bit of the Rain Report money management tip of the day. And again, if you are new to the Rain Report, I base my my philosophy on 3 things: value, percentage play, and the performance cycles. And again, you can get a membership for less than 27 cents a day right here at ATSstats.com. All right, let's go to your free horse racing tip of the day. And again, if you're new to horse racing and you're not sure exactly how it works or how you should bet, if you go to horses, go to how to bet the horses. I got a video right here. It's a 13-minute video, and I give you instructions on how I bet the horses: double Dutch, back wheeling, exacta box, trifecta box, Joker's Wild, and the Missouri pick, the show me state, right? So the show, how to place a horse to come in third to show. And it's all in this video right here at atsstats.com. All right, there's Rashad. How you doing, Rashad? Hopefully you had a good night. Let me see here. Lee, thanks, sir, very much. Lee Lewis, I took a big loss with UFC 259, so I'm being disciplined now. Yeah, and the thing is, life lessons, right, Lee? Sometimes, I say it all the time. We never remember the big wins. We always remember the big losses for some reason. A big loss will always stay with you for a long time. A big win, you celebrate, you have pizza, you have a beer, you have a Coke, you have a coffee, whatever, and life goes on, and, it's all good. But you get stung by a loss, that carries with you for years, right? Underdog Snipers in the house. How you doing, Snipe? But, yeah, so let's go to your free horse racing today at Gulfstream Park. And we're going to go to race number 1 today at Gulfstream Park. $25,000 maiden claiming race. 1:10 post time at the stream. First race is 5 furlongs on the turf. And again, you got to keep an eye out on Gulfstream, because depending on the weather in Florida, they move a lot of those races to the dirt. So we'll see if that one here is on the turf. Now, I'm going to go 7-1-5 in race number 1 today at Gulfstream Park. Charlie Can Do with Tyler Gaffalione in the saddle. Tyler's 40% in the money in his last 100 races. Discreet Tune with Paco Lopez taking a ride here on the number 1 horse. And Marsac Leperoux taking the ride here on the number 5 horse, Marsac, 9-2 morning line. And your Joker's Wild selection in race number 1 today at Gulfstream Park is the 3 horse, Grand Union, with Edgar J. Zayas taking the ride here on the number 3 Grand Union. Now, if you're going to play an exacta box here today, guys, I recommend 7-1-1-5-5-3 exacta box. Always box it, because, if it comes in 7-1 and you had 1-7, you're going to wish you boxed it, right? And then trifecta, 7-1-5, 3-1-5 exacta box. And if you're going to bet the Joker selection right here, the number 3 horse, Grand Union, I recommend you bet him to win into play. So this way, if he comes in second, you get some of that second place money back. All right, so that is your free horse racing today. And guys, the one thing about if you're a member of atsstats.com and you're into the horse racing, tomorrow's lineup card is already in. That's the one thing I love about horse racing. So all the races today for the Gulfstream and Hollywood Park, Oakland, and then tomorrow there's like almost 18 races tomorrow, and I've already got all the tip sheets raring to go. And we got Gulfstream, we got Santa Anita, Tampa Bay Downs, Aqueduct in New York, and it's all here in the members area if you want to do your homework before tomorrow's races. Okay, let's get to the SBI. The SBI stands for Sports Betting Index, and we're going to take a look. And always want to plug in my good friend Ross Benjamin, who always says you got to think like a bookmaker. And we'll be thinking like a bookmaker right now, because if you look at last night in the NBA, 3-7 for the underdogs. The underdogs broke a 10-day winning streak for the favorites. In fact, the favorites were 15-0 prior to last night. And this is why I always say you got to keep an eye on the markets, because you just never know. Like, nothing can go up forever, right? After 2 days of 8-0 for the favorites, winning 7-0 last day before on the 16th, and St. Paddy's Day, 3-7 for the favorites, and 2-8 against the point spread, favoring the underdogs. So the underdogs were barking yesterday. They covered a spread 80% of the games of the 10 games that were played. And if you look at the 7-day average, now it's coming down a bit, 70.1 on the straight up factor, still 64% on the 30-day factor right here, 30-day average, and 64.1 compared to 36 for the underdogs. But if you look at the 7-day average for the point spread, 51.9 and 48.4 respectively for the favorites and the underdogs. All right, on the 7-day average, the unders have come in now the last couple of days. 6-4 yesterday, 4-3 the day before, then 4-3. So on the 3-day average, we're neutral. We are a neutral market right now. 46.7 the 3-day average for the over, 47.6 for the overs on the 7-day average. So we are still in a neutral market. And to me, when I see that, it's fire away on totals if you like overs or unders. All right, take a quick look here in the bullpen, see what everybody's talking about here right now. Not sure how well it works, but it's fun and it seems like it helps. I'm not sure what you're talking about, but we'll see. John, wait until you get into the umpire strike zone. Okay, yeah, baseball. He's talking about baseball. I used to hate baseball, but when I discovered the Raymond Report had changed, I learned a lot, and it's my favorite sport to cap. Yeah, absolutely, John. I'm with you. And the one thing, let's say you're not a big, a big hockey fan or a big baseball fan, and this is what I'm saying. Once you start thinking like an investor, then you start thinking you're a big investor fan, and making money, well, will change your allegiance to some of your sports team, right? And the thing is, we've all grown up liking or loving our teams, but I tell you one thing, I like the Sens, but I like when they make me money better, and we'll see about that. But yeah, baseball is going to be fun, and this is why it's so important, guys. If you got a minute today, go to Streakcatcher.com, make your selections at Streakcatcher.com, and or HockeyPicks.com, and I'll get to that in just a second, because we got some streakers, and the thing is, and I'll talk about money management in just a second. And guys, I think it's so important that we keep talking about money management, so this way you don't really throw a dart at the dartboard, and you got to have a game plan. You got to have because if you are in this for the long run, if you enjoy betting, you like making money. No one likes losing money. I'll tell you, if you do, then you're not. You could be normal, but you're not in my circle of friends that are normal that like losing money. But if you like making money, and I tell you, when you start making a little bit of money and doing the sports betting, it puts pleasure into your viewing pleasure of watching the games, right? And it's just you learn. I always think you're never too old to stop learning. And hey, I come on these shows and I learn a lot from you guys too, right? You guys post stuff, and it makes me think twice on some of the things, and that's what this show is all about. This show is about making you think twice, making you, just like that guy said. He goes, "You've changed my way on my perspective on how I look at sports betting now." And it's good. It's really good, because we've all been through a rut where we've gone through these ruts, and it's like, okay, I can't even pick my nose right anymore, right? And how am I going to pick winners? So you'll see everybody's got their own different philosophy. Mine, it boils down to percentage play. Like I always say, how do you handicap the last 10 seconds of a game? You can't. It comes down to percentage play. And San Antonio, and the night before, was it the Rangers or Flyers? I can't remember. No, Washington. Remember Washington against the Islanders at 18 and 17%. Last night, 19 and 8. That 1%. It could be the tipping point of leading you in the same direction of finding winners. All right, so let's look at the NHL. Now, the NHL, 72.1. And if you look at last night, again, the NHL favorites are on a complete mission right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then we had a tie right here. So the eight-day unbeaten streak right here. So the favorites in NHL, I don't know what it is. It's I don't know if it's the COVID era, or if it's these teams always playing each other like in a 3-game series, a 3 out of 5, facing. I think it's more like that, right? In the NHL, you're facing the same team like 2 and 3 nights in a row. And if you've played hockey or coached hockey, and sometimes it's all about line matching, right? You put your checking line on the top scoring line, and then sometimes you get the last change. That makes a big difference. It makes a big difference to put your top line up against. You see a team's fourth line out there, you say, okay, Stamkos line, you're up. And the next thing you know, it's 3-0. All right, so Isaiah's excited for baseball. Yeah, you guys are going to see baseball is going to be a lot of fun. And if you are into analytics, I think baseball is the best sport of all sports for analytics. It's there's so much information out there, and it's like every day trying to find that diamond in the rough, right? And let me see. What a beating the Flyers took. Oh man, 9-0. Yeah, that's a woodshed game right there, right? Take them out behind the woodshed and whack whack whack. that was a bad game for the Flyers last night. I know it, right? I thought it a lot better going with today, my man. Going with you today, my man. All right, Rashad. Only a small bet on the Hornets. All right, so that's the SBI for the hockey, the over-unders. on the 7-day average. So 4-2 last night, 3-4. So you can see here the NHL, nothing really crazy when it comes to the SBI. We're in a neutral market. And again, if you are new to the Rain Report, you see the legend right here. The way I look at sports betting on the SBI, you think of a micro and macro management. Teams are micro, the league is macro. And what I look here is whenever in a bull market, it's because the percentage is 57.2 to 100. Neutral market is 42.8 to 57.1. And anything below 42.7, I call that a bear market. All right, that's the SBI today. Let's go to the Bears and Bulls report. Like I said yesterday, I feel like I'm a Chicago local sports radio show. Today, the Bears and Bulls report on the Fan. That's still going over there, the Fan. I know that was big in the was it 90s and 2000s, the Fan in Chicago. But all right, let's take a look at the NBA right now. And remember, we said there was a lot of teams in the Bullish Club. So when I look at the Bull Club here, the bullish teams in the NBA, I don't really care about the A teams because I expect them to be there. But I'm looking for B and C type teams. So there's Atlanta. Atlanta still in the Bull Club. They're a B type team, and they're 6-1 in their last. So Atlanta right now is a team that you know. There's the thing when you look at bullish teams, then you got to think like a bookmaker. Bullish teams, let's see what they involve. They involve high confidence because they're playing well, so the public confidence is very high on bullish type teams, but the reward factor is a little bit low, right? Medium to low. But and then at the Bears is the opposite, right? The public confidence is very low, but the rewards are very high. So you see how we teeter-totter with that mentality right there. And let me see who else is in the bullish club. Miami. Hey, Miami. I think they lost last night, right? The Heat and Dallas, Portland, Charlotte are in the bullish club. And let me see here, teams that are neutral. So neutral teams. That's like the waiting pool. I always say, right? There's from a market's psychology point of view, the mindset. You don't really have a strong opinion either way. Like Boston, San Antonio, Cleveland, Sacramento, Oklahoma, New Orleans, Memphis, Chicago, New York, Utah, and Golden State are neutral. The only time they'll change your mindset is when you look at what type of team they are, right? If I go, Sacramento compared to Utah, like look at Utah, right? They're in the neutral pool, so Utah has a lot of value when you're betting on them. And then look at the Clippers. The Clippers back. The Clippers are back in the Bear Club. That's twice now we've seen the Clippers in the Bear Club in the last month. You don't see many A-type teams in the bearish club, but the Clippers are back. Now looking at the hockey, the NHL, Vancouver, big win. Again, you got to consider who they're beating, so you got to look at their strength of schedule. Overtime win. The thing with Ottawa, if you come to play Ottawa Senators, you'll be in a bit of a dogfight. But now the goalie went down. Decord went down yesterday. Now they're scrambling and they're calling up other goalies. Murray's out, so it's going to be interesting in Ottawa in the between the pipes. And who else here? Edmonton. I believe they got that win yesterday against Calgary, if I'm not mistaken. And let me see here. So let me see the C Club. Oh, look at this. Toronto still in the C Club. Philadelphia after the woodshed game last night. And let's take a look at the odds from the scores from last night, just to recap some of our stuff that we did. And let me see here. Going with you. I'm gonna love the Hornets today. Rui loves the Hornets. I'm trying out the new system of teams of 250 points. And okay, so Isaiah says he's gonna try out the system of teams of 250 points or more during the last two games. Hornets are 11-1 ATS off a loss. 13-6 on 0 days rest. So that's an interesting. Ron, you should try to add a column for many times teams have been in a cycle and how long they stayed in it. Yeah, that's a good. You know what? That's a good point. So, I like that. To see how long they've been in the. It's almost like streaks, right? It's almost like streaks. But you know what? I will look at that to see how many days they've been in that. You know what? That's what I'll do. I'll add a column. How many days they've been in the Bear Club, right? Because everything has an expiry date. Everything has an expiry date. Buddy Buckets. How do you like Buddy Buckets last night against the Wizards? Brooklyn, they won by 9. Milwaukee, winning by 5. They didn't cover, though, right? Depending on the line you got. But we talked about that game in depth yesterday. Toronto, what did I tell you about Dwayne Casey, right? Remember I said Dwayne Casey, every time he plays the Raptors, it's like a chalkboard game. He puts money on the chalkboard and the teams win for him. Golden State, Houston, we got a problem. San Antonio, big win for the Spurs. I was glad to get that game. Cavaliers beat the Celtics by 7. The Heat losing by 5 to the Grizzlies. Now, we talked about that game yesterday. And the one thing I like to do, guys, sometimes is go back the day before because it brings back what we talked about. And remember yesterday we talked about the Heat and the Grizzlies and how the line flipped. And who are we going to trust? The bookmaker or the public, right? And the public got this one because the public flipped that line. And I'm not sure what it closed at. See, it closed back at -1. Man, that was a bungee. That's what I call a bungee game. You know, the line just bungees all over the place. Charlotte against the Denver Nuggets, 129-1. Never in doubt. Never in doubt. That was a great win. And then the Mavericks, right? Remember I talked about those under the radar teams, those 3 teams, Dallas, Miami, and Denver. You know, those are 3 teams right now you got to keep an eye on, I think. So that was the last night in the. All right, so Mark Nason is saying the Bruins game is canceled. Damn, I hate seeing that, especially on game day, right? That sucks. All right, hey, it's not as if we're not used to that news right now, right? Vancouver 3-2 win last night. Philly, there's a woodshed game, right? Take them out behind the woodshed. Winnipeg 4-3. Overtime winner by Ehlers. That was a nice goal, but should have never went to overtime. But Edmonton put a touchdown on the Calgary Flames. Remember we talked about this game yesterday, saying that when you get a new coach coming in, it's just a matter of time before the energy wears off, and especially a C-type team in Calgary. But hey, you know what? The Calgary are back on track. Just a bad game last night. LA Kings 4-1, and the Vegas Golden Knights 5-4. 5-4 victory over the San Jose Sharks. 9 goals scored in that game. All right, what's next on deck here? Oh, yeah, Streakcatcher. Don't forget, folks, each and every day, make 1 pick a day at streakcatcher.com. And right now, Battlehound, check out Battlehound here. He had the Winnipeg Jets yesterday. Battlehound is now on a 5-game win streak. And we also have another streaker, another Frank the Tank right here in Hill 84. Hill 84 had the Brooklyn Nets last night, +1. So that line must have switched or something because I don't remember seeing +1 on that game, but we'll check it out. But two guys on a 5-game win streak, and then Metalhead 56, he hasn't posted in a few days, and Canadian Capper 72 is on a 4-game win streak. So folks, head on over to streakcatcher.com. That's streak, not street, and make 1 pick a day, and hopefully you guys could join in on the fun. And again, remember when Eddie went on a 13-game win streak? And to me, this is one of a great money management type website, right? And remember I said yesterday, I said, if you diversify your portfolio in stocks, why wouldn't you do it in sports betting, right? So let's say you got a $500 bankroll. Why not dedicate $200 of that bankroll and you bet, say, 5% of that bankroll on 1 pick a day using the leader's picks right here. And then the other $300 you use on your own personal wagering. Either it's a system wagering or whatever your system is. But if you dedicate certain percentage of your bankroll to, say the Streakcatcher or, even hockeypicks.com, you're going to see that, the stress will be taken off you on always having to win, right? And the thing about the Streakcatcher is that somebody's always hot. And if you can follow somebody that's hot and you don't have to worry about that, and you just let that 20% of your bankroll just invest it into that the Streakcatcher's picks, you'll see a big difference. You will see a big difference in your sports betting. And again, because we look at sports betting and we just say we don't talk about it like in stocks. That's what I do. I diversify some of my bankroll, and again, it's about Cash Out Monday, right? We all want to cash out on a Monday. My username is Ronnie Ray. I'm not having a good streak catcher right now. I think I'm on a 3 or 4 game losing streak. I took a breather there, or actually, you know what? What did I have yesterday? Did I put in a pick yesterday? Yeah, Winnipeg Jets. So hey, that's a win. I don't know why I created that as a loss. So that should be a win right there. See, we're gonna fix things on the fly right here. So that Winnipeg was my pick last night. I don't know why I graded a loss, but you know what? Thanks for mentioning that because now I got to fix that. Hockeypicks.com. Eddie Drake. Everybody knows Eddie Drake in the bullpen. He's Ed Muskow. I just saw Eddie won another cup. Was it last night? Yeah. There's Musco, Eddie Drake. Hey, we love the Drake here at the Raymond Report. 6-0 yesterday for Eddie. What is it with the name Eddie, right, guys? Eddie. I'm gonna change my middle name to Ron Eddie Raymond. Hey, that sounds pretty good actually. Ron Eddie Raymond. And yeah, so Eddie had a good night last night, 6-0. And you can follow Eddie's picks. So the thing is, with hockeypicks.com, it's just like Twitter. You can follow people's pick, and if you go to the following, you can see everybody that I follow. I follow people that have a 800, unless they're family. Then I follow family, right? But if you got 800 or 700, if you're a legend like Eddie, then that's the people I follow. I try to follow people that are hot, and this way ride the hot hand, right? And you can play each and every day at hockeypicks.com. All right, let's go to the NBA handicapping. Let's go to the games and let's start handicapping today on the NBA. All right, hockey picks, top 2 picks are 23-10 so far this month. Nice. See, that's what I love. I love when people are totally invested and and they're bringing out these gems I call, right? I just joined. I'm 1-0. Right on. Let me see here. Any other questions today? Is that Battlehound? Is that Isaiah? I don't know. Is that you, Isaiah, Battlehound? Ron, any dog +4 to +10 off 2 ATS losing streak, 29 in ATS. Ooh, nice. So Isaiah's saying any underdog of +4 to +10 off 2 ATS losing streak are 29 and 13. And that's one thing. If you're using the database, always look for coming off like a negative situation, right? When you're doing searches, don't do coming off 2-game win streak, because the percentage, the higher you win, the lower it decreases the win, right? You got to think of the opposite way. And so that's a good one right there, Isaiah. All right, let's go to, let me see here, the dashboard. We'll go to the tip sheet. Now, not a lot of NBA games here tonight, but that's okay. Gives us more time for NHL. And where's my sheet? There we go. We're going to kick it off here with Utah taking on the Washington Wizards. Now, if you look at this, I had the -8.75, and the line is -11.5 here for the Utah Jazz. So Utah overvalued today. You got an A neutral team that's overvalued, but you're getting value on the Washington Wizards, and they're a C-type team. I don't trust C-type teams. After All-Star breaks, it's very rare. It's very rare that I'll bet on a C-type team. And when you think about it, you got to have this mindset that, and for some reason, we always have this positive hope. I call it hopium, that bad teams will do good things, and 9 out of 10 times they'll break your heart, right? When you bet on bad teams, you can expect bad things to happen, and that's why sometimes I limit myself when I'm betting on a C-type team, unless it's a C on C-type crime, right? Then I might consider the value, the percentage play. But A-type team against a C-type team, very rarely will I bet on Washington in this type of situation, unless the numbers are really tell me otherwise. Washington on a 5-game losing streak, 60% chance of covering for the Wizards compared to 31 for the Utah Jazz. Utah, the 2019 to the over on the year, 24 and 15 for the Wizards. 47% on the Kogo, and we got the Jazz winning tonight, 123 to 116. And really don't have an opinion on this game. I don't really, nothing really stands out for me in this game here. What do you guys think? The bookmaker is less trying to contain majority of 40-60%. All right. So, yeah, so anytime I'm breaking down a game, guys, go ahead in the bullpen and just fire away who you're leaning. This way it gives me a good indication on where you guys are thinking, right? Because this way I get a good positive vibe on where you guys are. And the thing is, I say it all the time, all of us is stronger than one of us, right? Orlando taking on the New York Knicks. Now, the Magic, 8-game losing streak. Again, a C-type team. You see what I mean? Bad teams, but they're not lucky. They got so many injuries. I was looking at their starting lineup tonight, and Fournier, I think is a game-time decision. Or let me see here, for Orlando. Yeah, Fournier game time, Gordon. I'm looking at the injury report. The injury report looks like their starting lineup. So Orlando, just, man, what a tough year it's been for Orlando this year. Ever since Fultz went down, right? 7.3, so no value on Orlando. Now the New York Knicks, -0.24 and -4.5. So The New York Knicks are overvalued tonight. I do like the Knicks. I think there's good value here on the New York Knicks here this evening. I'm going to go to the premium report, and I want to see something here on the New York Knicks at home against C-type teams. And let me see here. 7-3, yep. This is what I thought. 7-3 straight up and against the number. And we got a C on C team here tonight. The New York Knicks now just fell out of the B club. You know, we threw them out of the club. They're now downgraded to the C club, right? Gronk threw them out of the club last night after that loss. 20-21, so now they are a C-type team. But you know what? And this is what I mean. Sometimes there's exceptions to the rules. But I do like New York here. And the percentage play, the lower high goes to Orlando. 43% compared to 21. The one thing with the New York Knicks, right? They play a lot of low-scoring games. Look at the over-under on the season. 15, 25, and 1. And in the last 10 trips to Madison Square Garden, the under is 7-2 and 1 for the Magic. So I do like New York here tonight. I think New York is where you want to lean. All right, New York, Orlando, the only under. I wanted the Knicks at -4.5, but a little nervous at 6.5. Oh, is that what it is now? 6.5 is. I thought the line. See, I thought our line was more. Let me see what the latest line is on this game. Let me do a refresh. So I'm seeing New York at 5 now. I'm seeing the New York Knicks at 5 now. So yeah. So I still like New York. I like them this evening. And the Knicks lost 2 close games. I'm picking New York. Hey, you know what? New York's they're not the same New York Knicks we've seen the last couple of years, right? This is a competitive team. They're fiery, and they're playing some good basketball. Oklahoma taking on the Atlanta Hawks. Now the Atlanta Hawks, a B-type team. They're bullish on a 6-game win streak. Oklahoma. Now here's the thing with the Oklahoma City Thunder. Oklahoma City Thunder are one of the best teams in the league against the point spread, right? If I bring up their ATS standings. And let me see here. I'm going to bring it up high because sometimes when I do this, I got to double check with the... so ATS, sometimes my head's in the way there. I noticed that on the replay the other night. Anytime I do these, I bring up a page, I got to get my head out of the way there. All right. Maybe I got to lean the other way. All right, ATS. So look at this. Oklahoma City Thunder, 13-7 against the point spread. So OKC... a really good, remember last year OKC was with Billy Donovan, they were a covering machine. And this year, let's go to OKC in Atlanta. Let me see, OKC. So we got a C-type team against a B bullish type team in Atlanta. Atlanta 7-2 straight up, 6-3 against C-type teams. And wow, look at that. Overall, since 1996, Atlanta against OKC, 5-16 and 1 against the point spread since '96 at home. That's trouble. I don't know if it's on the home. I'll have to do a double check. I don't know if that's home or home and away, but that's not good. 5-16 and 1. Yeah, I'll have to do a checkup on that. Back to this here. So I got the value here on both these teams here tonight. So Oklahoma, I had them at 5.7. We're getting +7. And Atlanta, -156, and we're getting -7. So the Atlanta Hawks are overvalued. Again, think of the pizza scenario, right? 2-for-1 pizza for value, and then unless you want the pizzazz pizza, $40 pizza, overvalued, but still good pizza, right? Atlanta, on a Nate McMillan's got him playing some good basketball, 6-game win streak, and wow, how do you feel if you're Lloyd Pierce right now? You see your team going on a 6-game win streak, okay? Makes you wonder. 113 to 110. And again, folks, if you have been following the Rain Report, teams, if you can pick a team to win straight up in the NBA, there's a good chance you got a 75% chance of covering as well. As the teams that normally win straight up have a really good chance of covering the spread. And the only thing is, though, I don't like Oklahoma is just one of those teams on my radar teams, right? All they do, they might not win every game, but they do cover. So because of that, I'm probably going to pass on that game. And, a B-type team on a 6-game win streak, if they were an A-type team, again, you got to think the percentage play, right? 24% chance of covering against 55. If I had to lean somewhere here tonight, I'd probably lean with OKC. I like the Hawks to win, not cover. I think the Knicks put up 115. Are you talking about OKC versus the Hawks? Yep. Hawks have Lakers on deck, revenge, plant base. All right, so... that's what I think of that game. New Orleans against Portland. All right, so we got the Pelicans taking on the Portland Trailblazers tonight. Fair market value. I look at the line here for value. Good value on both these teams. Pretty high total, 239. I'm seeing 239 as a total. And, man, that's like an all-star game total right there. And looking at the C neutral type team in New Orleans against a B bullish team in Portland. And 4 ATS losses, though. Portland's one of those teams are they're identical to the Celtics, right? Portland's like Celtics East or Celtics West, I should say. But yeah, it's the thing is Portland's one of those teams that they're a good team, but they'll just break your heart. 75% chance of covering compared to 29. And New Orleans, though, New Orleans on the road. I prefer New Orleans as an underdog than a favorite. I'd never like to trust them as a favorite, but let me see here. 2-3 straight up against B-type teams, but 4-1 against the point spread. 4-1. And when I look at the last 10 trips to Portland, they're 6-4 and 7-3 against the number. 7-3 to the over. Man, you know what? 239.5. I thought I saw something in my stats. Any total that's 240, I think it's 9-2 to the over. I'll bring it up on a different screen, and I'll bring it over here in a second. I'll show you that. But totals of 240, I think, in the NBA. Yeah, I think it's like a high percentage play to the over. So looking at this game here, guys, 115 to 113 for Portland. Probably have to lean, I don't know. This is like San Antonio, Chicago, or Milwaukee, Philadelphia yesterday, right? Head scratcher, right? Just on cue, scratch the head, right? Head scratcher. I don't know. This is, what do you guys think? What's the general feel of this game here in the audience and the bullpen? I just, one in doubt, get out, right? That's my rule of thumb. One in doubt, get out. But I don't know. I don't have a strong, the numbers. Okay, value. Every time you have some of these situations where you're not sure where you're leaning on a game, I always go back to fundamentals. And my fundamentals are this. Where's the value? There's fair market value on both these teams. Where's the percentage play? The percentage play does favor, let me see here, Portland to cover. What's the straight up angle here? So 70% chance of winning for Portland compared to 29 and 75. So the percentage and the cow, the chance of winning and the chance of covering does favor Portland. And then let me see here, the percentage play, 75. The computer pick, 115 to 113. So right there, and what's the so I think Portland, when I look at the fundamentals, I would have to give the odd to Portland, but we'll see. Pelicans, they're a C-type team too, right? And that, to me, that's one reason why I probably don't expect bad teams to do good things for you. And what's the Pelicans' record on the road? Oh wow, okay. Here's the clincher for me. 5-13 on the road, 7-11 against the point spread. Where Portland is 12-7 at home. And so if you're gonna lean this game, I think I'd have to lean with Portland. All right, Minnesota taking on the Phoenix Suns. Man, this line is high, 7.85. So there's value on Minnesota, and Phoenix is overvalued. So if you're looking for value, you got an overvalued team against a value team right here. A bullish against a C bearish. So you got a really good team against a really bad team. 46% chance of covering compared to 33 on the overvalued team, and then 123 to 109. So I got them winning by 14 here. So if you like Phoenix, we got them winning by 14, and the indicators that I have, the percentage play, the lower high goes to Minnesota right now. But let me take a look at Phoenix. Phoenix, you know what? Pretty good, having a pretty good run this season. Chris Paul doing a good job there in Phoenix. Let me see the lineup here tonight. Let's see, Phoenix. All right, Chris Paul, Booker, Bridge, Crowder, Ayton. And I don't see big Ricky Rubio going back to Phoenix, right? So could this be a win-win for Ricky? I don't know if he's I don't know if he was that popular, but we'll see. Let me see here. Stay away. Suns should smoke them, says Isaiah. Bucks are soft. Won't win the championship this year. Suns keep hammering teams no matter what. Yeah, you know what? That's a good point. If you look at, let me see here, 122 to 99. They lost to the Pacers though, 122 to 111, and then 127. So, oh wow, this 170 to 150. That's I thought that was a typo, eh? That's crazy. 5-3. So nothing on the cycles or the indicators are pointing me otherwise. You know what? I just don't like laying 10 points on these type of in pro sports unless I really feel good about it, right? Charlotte taking on the LA Lakers. Now, the Hornets coming off a loss to Denver. Was it last night? And let me see here. I'm going to take a look at their last couple of games. Yeah, they never showed up in Denver last night. Remember we talked about that game yesterday, saying the altitude could play an effect, and man, they were just right from the get-go. Denver just put the gas to the pedal, and and D's for drive, right? And they were driving last night. Denver was, and looking at the Lakers now, 13-8 at home, 14-5 on the road, 27-13 overall, 22-18, and looking at the Lakers. The value percentage, you're getting value on Charlotte, but now they're a B bullish team, right? So you're getting value on a B type bullish team. The one thing I do trust is B teams. I will trust B bullish teams on the road. The Lakers, a bit overvalued here tonight. And looking at 4 ATS win streaks, so the percentage play is very low of covering the spread. I think Charlotte might be worth the plus 7.5 here. 115 to 110. Now, again, my rule, not my rule, but one of my philosophies, if we like them to win straight up, then we should like them to cover 75% of the time. But the point spread, 115 and 110. I don't know. I think I might have a small lean to Charlotte here. A small lean. What do you guys think? I think the Suns are the best team right now. I like the Wolves. They're coming off a good cycle, ATS cycle. Charlotte looks good tonight. Yeah, Bo Jackson agrees. Yeah, I agree with Bo. Bo knows, right? Plus 7 is a sharp line, covers. So here I want to do this. I want to bring over the NBA, show you guys that. But I do really like Charlotte. ATS for cash money. That's awesome. So, all right, before we jump into the NHL, any last comments or feedback on the NBA for this evening? Again, is there any, if you like Portland tonight, and depending on how much this line jumps, anytime I see a line that's -3 or lower, I always factor in the money line, right? Like, for instance, if you like Portland tonight, play them on the money lines, because if this goes up to 1.5, don't get hooked, right? Be aware of the hook. Hey, there's another t-shirt thing we got to put on. Be aware of the hook. And let me take over. Okay, here we go. I'm going to bring this over here, and I'm going to put it right there. And look at this. I was talking to you guys about totals. NBA totals of 240 or more, 9-3 to the over, and 2-9-1 against the spread for home teams. Home teams, when the total's 240 or more, 2-9-1 against the number, the point spread, but 9-3 to the over. So if you do like if there's any 240s tonight, if that line goes to 240 or higher, New Orleans, Portland. So that line, see, it opened up at 242, and I'm seeing it now at 239. There's a 240 at some places. It's too bad it didn't stay at 242, because I'd be all over the over, especially at 75% on the year. And this is what if you're new to sports betting, this is what I call a league system play, so a macro system play. You got any NBA teams or games that's 240 or more, home teams or away. 9-3 to the over, 75% is pretty solid, right? Hey Ron, are we getting CFL this year? Says John X. You know what? I would love to think we are, but it's not looking good. I don't know how. But the thing with the CFL is they're ticket based, game day based oriented, right? Making their money. They always got to think financials, and the CFL makes a lot of their money on the at the gate. So gate revenue. If there's nobody in the stands, how are they going to make money, right? But it's not looking good right now for the CFL. We're going into we're middle of March, and we're still not even talking about training camp. Like, training camp should happen in about 6 weeks, right? And there's no word on training camp, so not looking good for the CFL right now. Maybe unless they start a later start like the NFL will start in September. That's the only way I think we might get CFL football this year, if they start in if they start in September and maybe like have 10 games or something, right? I hope though, because I love the CFL. I've been brought up on the CFL. We covered the CFL. I got stats on the CFL. I would love to see the CFL start this year. All right, let's go to the NHL. A lot of games in the NHL tonight. So I'm going to, it's already 5 to noon here, so I'm going to whiz by these. And we'll start it off with Philadelphia taking on the New York Islanders. Now, I'm going to look for value. So right now, we do have value on the Flyers, minus 105, plus 135. So we do have value on the Flyers. And we got 2 live system plays tonight, guys. Anybody who's new to the Rain Report who's been following our system, any favorites coming off a 1-goal loss this year, 50 and 19 on the year. And we got 2 teams fitting that system tonight, and I'll get to that in just a second. For the Flyer game, you got a B bearish team up against an A bullish type team. So, you know, the thing is, Flyers got embarrassed yesterday, right? And they're a B type team. And teams that normally get embarrassed, you almost want to bet them the next night, especially against who loses 9-0 to the New York Rangers. Like, you know, if it was Tampa Bay, you know, or Boston or Colorado, Vegas, but you just got, you know, taken to the woodshed against the New York Rangers. That's embarrassing. If I'm the head coach, I think Vigneault, that probably, you know, he'll probably get the vote of confidence call there this week, right? The GM will give him a vote of confidence. That's like the kiss of death. You can't lose 9-0 to the Rangers, and that's you know, that's not good. But Philadelphia, when they play against the New York Islanders, 4-6 in their last 10. Islanders are a good team. You know, Barry Trotz's got these guys ever since he's been there. New York Islanders, you know, they're the best team in New York right now, and I think Philly's in trouble. I think Philly's in trouble here tonight. I got the Islanders winning 3.2 to 2.4. The over under at 5.68. But I think the Flyers. The thing is though, you just lose 9-0. In fact, let me check my database. I want to see the history of teams. I wonder if it goes back teams that lost by 9 goals. I want to see what the record is. Let's go NHL. We'll go road teams. If you lost by 9 or more goals, I think I got this. Coming off a 9 or more goal loss. Yeah, here it is. Teams, here we go. See, we got everything at the Rain Report. Teams, and we'll go back to 1996. NHL away teams coming off a 9 or more goal loss. What's their record in the next game? 4-5. Only been 9 occurrences. Not bad. Not too bad when you think about it. But you see, it is competitive, right? It's still a losing record. Let me see if I do any team instead of home or away. 10-9. So to the under, 7-11 to the under. So you know what? I thought it'd be a little bit better. I thought it would be a higher percentage. It's better in baseball. I know teams in baseball that lose 9 or more have a better win record. But yeah, I think Philly's in trouble. I think Philly is in trouble. And let me see the starting goalies tonight for Philadelphia. Probably Carter Hart up against Varlamov. Yeah, Carter Hart and probably Cillian Varlamov tonight. Pittsburgh taking on New Jersey. Now, Pittsburgh fits into our system play. Pittsburgh lost their last game. So if you look at it, I think it was against Washington. Was it 3-2 or 2-1, something like that? Let me see here. Pittsburgh lost the last game to the Bruins. Yeah, 2-1. So they lost to the Bees 2-1 in their last game. So they fit into our system play here tonight. Minus 170 is the line, unless that line has changed on tonight's game. I'll just do a quick look here on the money line on tonight's game between the Pens. So still it's going down. So money coming down on the Devils. So a little bit of money coming on the Devils right now. But I do like Pittsburgh here tonight. I think the system play is in effect. You got a bullish team against a C-type team. And ever since Mackenzie Blackwood came back from his injury, he hasn't been the same. I don't think he's been the same. And he's going to get the nod between the pipes tonight against Tristan Jarry. But I do like I like the Penguins tonight. I like Sid the Kid and company here tonight. 3.17 to 2.3. 66% chance of winning for Jersey compared to 36. But I do like the system play here on the Penguins. All right. What do you guys like? You guys like the Islanders? Sir Lancelot. There's Sir. Every time we start talking NHL, Sir Lance chimes right in there. Right on, Sir Lance. Rashad likes Tampa Bay. Kind of like the Blue Jackets for an upset. Okay, I'll get to that in a second. Nashville taking on Florida. plus 160. So we're getting value on the Nashville Predators here. A C bearish team up against an A bullish team in the Florida Panthers. Panthers, having a great season, right? Let me put this on this side right here, and I'm gonna bring up, just gonna bring this over real quickly. I like to just always see what they do in their last game, right? All right, so Nashville coming off a 4-1 win over Tampa Bay. So there's a bit of a letdown spot here for a C-type team in Nashville. And Florida, 6-3 win over Chicago, right? Old Quenville there had the number of the Chicago Blackhawks. Minus 179 and minus 213. So overvalued Florida Panthers, 4-game win streak, 16% chance of winning. Nashville 63. I just don't trust C teams. I don't trust C-type teams, especially in a favorite year, right? The SBI, a lot of favorites winning. 3.1. So we do have an upset. The computer likes Nashville. Look at that. 3.1 to 3 to 2. 63%. So a lot of indicators pointing, but Florida is a good team. Florida is playing some good hockey right now. And but let me see what the history is between these two teams. Sometimes you go look at the history to see if there's any. Sometimes the team owns a team, right? Sometimes styles make fights. And Nashville, when they travel to Florida, 5-5, and Florida 7-3 in the last 10. No, I don't see an upset there. Columbus taking on the Carolina Hurricanes, so plus 151, 166. So you're getting value on the Blue Jackets. Minus 241, you're getting value on Carolina. Carolina coming off a loss in their last game. In fact, they lost 4-2 to Detroit. That's a bad loss. I think that was in Detroit, or was it in Carolina? I can't remember. 2-1 against the Blue Jackets. Lost to Dallas. Yeah, that was a game where we got the Radulov. I think got the winner in the shootout. Yeah, 3 days rest. So that was a nice shootout win on the system. And let me see here. Carolina, 65% chance for Columbus, 31 for the Hurricanes, and then 3.3 to 2. I don't know. It's going to be a tough task. I just, you know what, Columbus right now, they're almost playing like to get the coach fired right now. I don't see a lot of synergies and chemistry with this team, right? It's like a team going through the motions until the axe falls on the coach. That's what it seems like from an outsider. You look at Columbus. I just don't see any spark. I don't see any spark in that team. There's no jump in their legs, and then you got Carolina. Carolina having a good season. I don't see the upset. I know Isaiah likes the upset here. I don't see it. Red Wings money line. Steph likes the Red Wings on the money line. Panthers all day. Underdog sniper. Market made me pick Nashville. I suspect sharp money. Don't trust Columbus. Exactly. I don't trust them either. All right, Boston taking on the Buffalo Sabres. Now, speaking of trust, now this will be Tony Granato's brother going to be the coach now in Buffalo. And we'll see if that's going to bring a bit of energy to the Sabres tonight, who are on a 12-game losing streak. But the bad news is facing the Boston Bruins. Sometimes everything's calculated, right? And I've known this for the NHL. The one thing the NHL, the GMs are really good at is knowing when to fire a coach, but making sure the next game's not against a team that they're going to get smoked, right? So, if you're going to fire the coach, you fire when you got Detroit on deck or something, or Columbus. You don't fire the coach when you got the Boston Bruins in your next game. Like, hey, all right, Don, go get them. Hey, we'll see what happens. But sometimes, beggars can't be choosers, right? So I think Don Granato's got his work cut out for him tonight. Looking at the starting goalies tonight between the pipes, you got, let me see here, for Buffalo, you got Carter Hutton, and then Yaroslav Halak. Halak's been in the league a long time. Yeah, loved him when he was in Montreal. All right, let me see here. So, yeah, obviously when you're losing, you're going to have a little bit of value here for Buffalo. C team. This is like Buffalo's the Houston Rockets of hockey right now. You just can't trust them, hey? Buffalo, we got a problem. I got 3 to 2. I think it's going to be a competitive game, but I think the under is where you want to go. I think maybe the under. Look at the Kogo though. The Kogo's at 80%. It'll be. I won't touch this game, but if you're going to play this game, I think the total is where you want to go. Chicago throwing the Lions Den. Yeah, no. Lonnie Smith says throwing the Lions Den. Exactly right. For sure. just knowing which chalk to stay away from massive damage. Yeah, and the thing is, it's in a year of favorites. So Sniper says just knowing which chalk team to stay away from makes a big advantage, right? Yeah, and again, it goes back to money management. Every game on the board here is not a Picasso. You can't have the perfect picture painted for you. You got to go find your value. Dallas, okay, where was I? Chicago, Tampa Bay. I got plus 136, so good value on the Chicago Blackhawks. Bearish team, though. You know what? They had that good little run. They had a good little string of winning games, but then now they faced the buzzsaw in the Florida Panthers. Last 6 games have gone over, so the starting goalie was Lankinen for Chicago. Yeah, Lankinen. You know what? Remember when Lankinen was at December? They were talking about Rookie of the Year and having a great run. But the NHL, that'll do it to you. It'll expose you a bit, right? But still, looking at Kevin Lankinen, 10-6 on the year. Still has 10 wins. He's got a 2.85 goals against average and 9.16 save percentage. So you know what? Pretty good season for Kevin Lankinen here in his rookie year. So good on him for having a good year. And I love watching Chicago play hockey. Anytime I can see Kane and DeBrincat, the cat, every time I can see that line. Something you ever do that? You watch a game just to watch that line. I know Austin Matthews and Marner are a good line to watch. But if you ever watch a Chicago Blackhawk game, just check out that Kane DeBrincat line, especially in overtime. It's magic on ice. It really is. It really is. All right, 31% chance of this game going over the total. 60% chance of covering tonight for Chicago. Looking at Tampa Bay right now, again, I don't like trusting C-type teams. Let me go to the rain report. I want to see Chicago. And Chicago's been in Florida now for a week, so they're probably, for St. Patty's Day yesterday, they're from the Windy City. They're, they probably brought their shorts and flip-flops to Florida. Hopefully they're not at the beach there because, that's the whole thing about teams playing the NHL, right? If they're from the upper north 49 parallel or the upper state of the United States in the cold territories, the states, hey, you go to Florida for a couple of game series, you might not come out of there alive, right? Because you might enjoy the temperature, the weather better than the hockey. And look at this, Chicago against A-type teams, 1-5, and look at Tampa Bay. They just the dog's breakfast right here, 5-1. They'll eat your breakfast, 5-1 straight up against C-type teams. As much as the thing is, you can't bet with hopium, right? You can't bet with hopium, and as much as you would love to take the Chicago Blackhawks here, that's a lot of chalk to chew on here, 246. Maybe the over. Maybe the over is where you want to lean on this one. All right, we talked about the system play. The other system play here is the Dallas Stars. Now, the system is you want to play in a favorite that coming off a 1-goal loss. Dallas came off a 4-3 loss in the last game one night ago against Tampa Bay. So Dallas does fit our system. So the system plays here tonight, guys, in the NHL. The Pittsburgh Penguins and the Dallas Stars. So if you're just going to be dabbling into hockey, those are 2 plays. Now, obviously, you're going to lay a bit of chalk here, but you got a really solid system backing you up. Dallas, 155 and 178 is the value. So you're getting value with the Dallas Stars, and they're playing Detroit, right? Detroit, coming off a 4-2 win over the Hurricanes, could be in a classic letdown spot for a C-type team. And looking at the starting goalies tonight for Detroit, you're getting Jonathan Bernier up against Anton Khudobin. We're not going home, eh? I guess we're not going home. Remember Anton Khudobin in the bubble after they won out a series? Go look it on YouTube. Anton Khudobin, we're not going home. One of the best rants. That's what I love about hockey, guy. Go look at that rant when Anton Khudobin says he's not going home after they won the game. I guess we're not going home. It's one of the funniest things. All right, so I do like Dallas here tonight, guys. I think Dallas in a good spot coming off of one, but they're a C-type team. So remember I said C on C-type crime. So that's the only time I'll bet C-type teams. 65% against 52%, and then I got them winning 3-2. So I think Dallas, it could be a small play here on the Dallas Stars here this evening. All right. Oh yeah, don't forget the NCAA. Plant-based. Don't. If you guys are out there, I'm gonna break down some of the college basketball games real quickly using the ATS calculator for the 4 games tonight. Minnesota, Colorado. The value play here, I got Minnesota. This is the game of the night. This is the NHL game of the night. Minus 175, and you're getting 137 on the Minnesota Wild, and minus 206 and 153. Now, the thing with this game, you got to look at the lineup. Who's any game time decision that you got to worry about, right? Nothing really that I see standing out. You got Capo Kakinen up against Philip Grubauer, so pretty good goaltending duo here this evening. Now, Grubauer 16-7 on the season, 1.85 goals against average for the Grub. Hey, Grub. You see his face mask says Grub. 12-4 for Kapanen. Wow, Kakinen. Capo Kakinen. Hey, man. He'd be, his name would be great on the Wheel of Fortune, right? By a vowel. Hey, Capo Kakinen. And, this is going to be a great matchup. 12-4, 2.05 goals against average. So this is your game of the night. And looking at the Minnesota, A bullish against an A bullish team. 5-game win streak for Minnesota. 4-game win streak for Colorado. Now 17-19. Now remember we're talking about that 1%. This is a 2% difference right here. And that's one thing I noticed this morning. I said, too bad it wasn't like 19-18. It would just be almost, the last 3 days we've been monitoring the percentage play. Remember Washington and the others was 18-19, and then 19-18 yesterday for San Antonio. So we got a 2% difference right here, and I got a 3-2 victory for Colorado. I think, I agree with Bo Jackson right there. Avalanche playing at home. I do. Grub has got a great goals against average. I think this is where you want to go, leaning with Colorado. And let me check out the PVI here. The parity value, strength of schedule, 3-2 against A-type teams. So that's an interesting matchup right here. Now if you go to atsstats.com, I'm going to show you guys something. So let's go back here, and in fact, I'll just do it off here. Go back to the dashboard. And I'm going to show you guys a great tool here at ATS. So what you want to do is go to the PVI SOS, the strength of schedule. And we're going to go to NHL. And we're going to go to Colorado. And we're going to click on Colorado. And here's one thing I like about this. So on the top, we have Colorado at home against A, B, and C-type teams. So Colorado at home against A-type teams this year. So Minnesota, Vegas, Minnesota, St. Louis. So Minnesota at one point was an A-type team. The average price for Colorado is minus 156. So if you're looking for value, now I said we had 206 as the value, but normally when Colorado is at home and the line's 153, so the average line for Colorado at home against A-type teams is minus 156. So we are $3 above average on the on that factor, right? So it gives you a little bit of a different perspective on how to grade or handicap the average of Colorado against A-type teams. The average total is 5.5, and the average score is 3 to 2.4 favoring Colorado. They're 3-2 in those situations, but only 1-4 against the puck line. So that tells me, you look at those scores: 6-2, 3-0, 3-2, 2-1, and 8-0. So this, these scores here tell a different story than 1-4, right? So there's only 2 games that have a 1-goal difference. The other 3 were either a blowout. So it just gives you a different perspective. And then on the road, you see this on the road. Anytime they play an A-type team on the road, they've only been a favorite twice. Comparing Colorado, actually, twice. Vegas was the favorite in this one. And let me see the record, 2-1. So just wanted to show you guys that if you ever wanted to look at value from a different angle. But I do like Colorado. I think Colorado is the way you want to lean here tonight. All right, real quickly, Winnipeg against Edmonton. Now Edmonton, coming off that 7-3 win last night against Calgary, and both these teams playing on 0 days rest, right? So we got a back-to-back game situation tonight involving Edmonton and Winnipeg. Now Edmonton, actually, did Edmonton play last night? Let me see here. Let me see. Did Edmonton? Yeah, they played Calgary. So both teams traveled. Yeah, both teams traveled. And let me see here on 0. Again, okay, so here we go. Edmonton at home. So they've only been in a back-to-back game twice at home, 1-1. Let me see here. Actually, just bear with me, guys. I'm just going to bring up the I always like to see, teams in the back-to-back games to see how they've done. Now, wrong one. I got to go days rest. Let's go to days rest. See, it's a good thing. Good thing I don't work for a radio station or TV, right? I'd have a producer in my ear. We're hard out. Hey, that's the beautiful thing about podcasts. You don't have to rush everything. Let me see here. NHL. All right, let's go look at Edmonton on back-to-back games. So Edmonton, right here. Okay, so they've only been in this situation 3 times. 1 and 2, and Calgary in back-to-back games. Where's Calgary now? Calgary Flames. Oh, wow, Calgary's up here. Let me see here. Calgary Flames. All right, I gotta put on my eyes here. You guys see it? Calgary. Oh. Am I missing something here? Here, I know a quick way to do this. There we go. 30th. Okay, Calgary. 0-1. So they've only been... Oh, no, that's... 0-1. So Calgary's only been in a back-to-back game once this year. Wow. That's interesting. Okay, so you know what? Oh, I'm doing Winnipeg, not doing Calgary. I was doing the wrong team. Hey? Let me see. You guys are supposed to pick me up there in the bullpen, right? You had me looking for Calgary when you know we're handicapping Winnipeg. Let me see. Winnipeg. Here we go. 2-0. Oh, wow. 2-0. All right. So you got a 1-2 record here. But again, the volume's low, right? And to me, not enough volume to really make a decision on. And Winnipeg, is this their 3rd game in 4 nights? If so, they're 6-1 when playing their 3rd game in 4 nights. And Edmonton is 5-3. So let me take a look at that record to see if they're playing their 3 games in 4 nights. That might play a bit of a difference here. I do like Edmonton, though. I do like Edmonton in this spot, but Calgary, they seem to play well with 3 games in 4 nights. 15, 16, 17, 18. So the Winnipeg Jets, remember I meant Winnipeg. Remember I said yesterday the Winnipeg, they're 10-1 now, 11-1 now off a loss, but they're pretty good record, 6-1 in 3 games in 4 nights. And if you look at their record in Edmonton, not a bad one, 6-4 straight up. And this is a tough game. At first glance, I was all over Edmonton, but now it's got me thinking. Winnipeg's not a bad team. When you look at all the Canadian division teams, I think Winnipeg's probably the one that I have most confidence probably to get out of that division. Playoff type, right? Hellebuck's a good goalie. Defense is okay, and they got some snipers up front. So you know what? I'm going to have to do some more research on that, but if I had to lean on... Man, I really liked Edmonton in this spot. A B bullish team coming off a big win, 54%, 3-2. Indicators, throwing my receptors right off here in that game, so I'm probably going to lay off that game. Winnipeg as a road underdog. So, Sniper just posted this here. When Winnipeg plays as a road underdog the last 2 years, and they're 2-1 in the last 3 games, 15-2 against the puck line. Yeah, maybe Winnipeg on the puck line is where you want to lean this. Could be a good play. I know Winnipeg on the puck line has been money all year. All right, last game, Arizona-Anaheim. And a lot of value here. A lot of NHL games here tonight. 143, 135, 132. So we do have value on Arizona. And let me see here. Anaheim. So we got a C on C type team. 133, 150. So no value here on Anaheim. So you're getting value. Actually, they're overvalued. Arizona's overvalued tonight. The last 5 games for the Coyotes have gone under 79 and 87. Look at the chances of winning. Let me go to the rain report on this game here. At first glance, I'm leaning towards Arizona. I just think they got better forwards. But let me see. 3-7, 2-8. Both these teams are really 4-game losing streak. 2-4. Man, this is a bad game. Hey, this is a bad game. 3-7. Arizona's 3-7 at the Duck Pond. And looking at the starting goalies tonight, let's take a look at the goaltenders tonight. And we got Ranta against Gibson. That's right, Kemper. I think Kemper's injured. I think he got injured a couple of games ago. But I probably lean with Arizona. I don't have 2.87, 2.6, and the percentage play is pretty high. So I'm probably going to lean with Arizona. All right, let me get out the ATS calculator and look at some of these games for you guys. And I'm just going to bring it over here in a second. I got to log on. All right, so which game would you guys like me to handicap? Just throw in the teams in the chat, and I'll put it in the board here. Actually, you know what? Let me grab it here. I'll do it right here. Let me go to this site. All right, so I'll do Drake, Wichita State. All right, so Drake, Wichita State. Survey says. All right, we got Drake. Love the Drake, right? We got Drake winning 5.53, 126.89. And what's the total on this one? Let me see here. 141. So we do have a low-scoring game, and we have Drake -2. So I do have Drake winning by 5 tonight. All right, so the next game. Let me see here. Let me see any. New Jersey were nice though. Sabres suck. Poor plant base. He's a Bills Mafia guy. He's a Buffalo guy. All right, do the next game. North Carolina, NC State against Davidson. So I'll do NC State North against Davidson. We got Davidson winning 6.15 to 119. And what's the total in that game? Davidson 137. So we do have Davidson winning. Norfolk State against Appalachian State. Hey, who had that in the Final Four of your brackets? Anybody have Norfolk in your Final Four? Where's Norfolk? There we go. Norfolk State against Appalachian State. Appalachian. If this was a football game, probably be a good football game. Appalachian State. Where are you, Appalachian? All right, we got Norfolk winning 5.93 to 130 on the total. So we have it going under, and we have the away team. We have Norfolk winning, and let me see here. We'll do UCLA against Michigan State. UCLA. And old Izzo. Eh? Sometimes every March Madness I'll just throw $100 on Izzo just because he's that good of a coach. And he's always gets the best out of his players. Sometimes you gotta handicap the coaches, right? You ever do a pool in the March Madness and you just handicap the coaches? It'll be sometimes it'll lead you to a pretty good, interesting Final Four. The away team. So we got UCLA winning by 3.8 and 136. So we have it going over the total. So that's the only total we have going over. But we got UCLA winning this one. Fade Drake. Steph says fade the Drake. Steph doesn't like the Drake. Not a big fan of the Drake. All right. Did I miss any games, guys? Any other games you guys want me to? I thought I missed one here. Maybe I thought I had missed one here. SMU and Boise State. You guys want me to do that one? SMU against Boise. That'd be a great football game, right? The Broncos against the Mustangs. SMU against Boise. There's Boise State right there. And we got, Boise 8.4 and 138. 8.4, so another game to go under. All right. Anything else, guys? Man, this is a long stream today. Eh? Didn't expect to go this long. I always like to get it an hour, but I apologize if I went over. Try to like to keep it an hour. Again, folks, don't forget, you can get my top plays, my best bets each and every day right here at ATSstats.com. 15 and 10 in my last 25 for 60%. And less than 27 cents a day for the year gets you access to the Raymond Report. And you can get all the access each and every day right here at ATSstats.com. All right. Hey, thanks to the bullpen. Another great day on a full Friday. That's what I call a fake Thursday, or a fake Friday, a full Friday. That's what I call my Thursdays. But, hey, good luck, everybody, tonight with your selections. Have fun watching some March Madness tonight. And if you ever want a copy of my free book, just log on to ATSstats.com, hit the Contact Us button, just say send me the book, and I'll forward you a free copy of my book, Ron Raymond's Top 50 Sports Betting Secrets, along with 30 bonus tips. As always, shop for value. Play those percentages, folks. We'll see you back here on a Freaky Friday. As always.